I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm out in the farm area and it's so beautiful out here. And there's also a dove making some noises, so you might hear that. Can any of you guys let me know? Can you hear me? It might be a little delayed, so I'm not sure. I'll get nice and close. Okay, thank you so much for letting me know. Perfect, thank you. Okay, so I came on here because I wanted to read a letter that I got from someone. I made some memorial pieces for her in memory of her grandfather. This is the letter that she sent to me along with his ashes and some really sweet photos. Look at how cute. Oh, I'm already gonna cry. Frick. Look at how cute he is. He's so sweet. Okay, so she just sent a really beautiful letter and I wanted to read it because I read it out to my husband when I was making the pieces and we were both just like, we just thought it was so well said, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Oh, frick, I'm already crying. Hi, guys. Okay, so here goes. Also, I asked her permission, so she already is okay with me sharing her letter. Hello, Tiffany. I saw on your Instagram that people sometimes send you letters, and I felt like I wanted to do that to give you some insight into the type of person my grandfather was. And I do really love that, by the way, when people are sending letters, and then just when I'm making the pieces, it just kind of makes my whole job feel really fulfilling. So, okay. My father was born when my grandmother was just 17 and my grandfather 19. Then I was born when my father was just 21. So Pop was only 40 when I was born, which is the same age as my husband now, and it shocks me every day. I know I had him in my life for much longer than most people get to have their grandparents, and yet I feel like it would never be long enough. He was 75 years young. Let me tell you, I've included some photos for you because I just wanted you to be able to put faces to all of us as you learned about how he was. He loved to party and dance. She sent some cute photos of him dancing. One of the photos is of him and I dancing in September to my younger sister's wedding. Oh, that was cute. I gave up alcohol in 2021 for mental health reasons, so my inner party animal is mostly tired now. But he asked me a couple of times for a dance and finally I agreed, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I had that dance. There are several photos of him dancing. He was such a ham, my grandmother would say. He always wanted to be surrounded by his family and friends and loved being the center of attention, but not in a boastful way. The photo of the girl and him at her wedding is of my sister Kristen. She always sat next to him during family meals. She was his favorite, even though he would never say that. They just had a really special bond. My grandparents have 4 children, 2 of which are married, so our family meals... Guys, shush! I'm trying to do a letter. The cars are so loud, sorry. So the family meals consisted of 25 to 30 people. He always sat at the head of the table, and on the rare occasion that Kristen wasn't there, I got to sit right next to him instead of 1 seat away, which I always took the opportunity to do. Every time we were sitting there together, he would take my hand and say, "Isn't this the best? I love it when we're all together like this." And he really did. He would sit at the head of the table listening to all of us talking and laughing, and he would just glow. When I read this part, it reminded me so much of my dad, like just grabbing my hand. "Isn't this the best?" So I was just like, frick. Okay. He told me he loved me every time I saw him or spoke to him, and there isn't a single time I didn't believe him. He was my greatest protector, my first call for everything, and one of the very few people I relied on. I struggled in my late teens and through my 20s, and I spent a lot of time living with my grandparents. He was kind and comforting, but also forced me to get up and get dressed every day. He may not have completely understood what I was going through, but he tried to, and he wanted to help. And he certainly did. His love, kindness, and security were part of the foundation I needed to get well. Just want to make sure you guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, I think I'm talking loud enough. I don't normally go live, so this is like... Okay. The only comfort I find in grieving him is knowing how lucky I was to have been loved by him. I thought the overused Winnie the Pooh quote was so cliche until his death. How lucky I am to have something that makes goodbye so hard. But that sums it up. The giant hole I feel in my chest is because what I had was truly the best. They say no one is perfect, but he absolutely was. The hardest part of this has been watching my grandmother grieve for her partner. He died on April 1st, which was one day before their 57th wedding anniversary. In his last moments at the hospital, as I watched her say goodbye, I realized that although 57 years had passed, to each other they were still 17 and 19. A young couple in love with plans and dreams. They did everything together, and not in the way that a lot of couples do, just going to the same events because of family dynamics or whatever. They were actually best friends. He told her that she was beautiful every single day, and that he loved her every single day. When they talked about their final wishes a few years ago, my nan asked him where he wanted to go when he passed, and he said, "Wherever you go." And that was always his answer. He wanted to go wherever she was forever. The last couple of pictures I included are of my grandfather and Kristen, my sister, of her sister's children. Like, he just seems like the sweetest guy. He totally reminds me of my dad. They're just so cute. Those are the hardest for me to look at because he loves those kids more than they will ever remember. And I often told Kristen she has been replaced as the favorite by her oldest, Emma. She was the only one who ever managed to get his seat at the head of the table, and he would play with them for hours. The one of him in the kids' tube is from just last summer at Emma's second birthday. He spent more time entertaining the kids than talking to the adults, and he loved every single minute of it. So in the end, we all need these pieces for different reasons. I'll show you some of the pieces that I made for her as she talks about them. So here's the one I made for her. She did the oval. This is the 10 by 8 by 10 size. It's so pretty. Sorry, I'm like snotting and okay. I need the oval necklace to remind me every day that I was and am loved, so that he is always by my side no matter what struggle I am facing, and to celebrate with me during my victories, and to remind me that the very last thing I said to him was that I would take care of my grandmother, which requires me to take care of myself and stay well and present. Kristen needs her Hallia necklace so that Pop can be with her always, to watch the kids as they grow and give her strength when she needs it, and to remind her that she is still, in his eyes, a little girl who will make mistakes and mess up, but will learn and grow and pass on the love that he shared with her. I'll show you the necklace I made for Kristen. So this is the Hallia necklace. So it sits like that, and this. It just turned out so pretty. So that's his ashes inside the stone there. My grandmother needs her bracelet so that she can take him everywhere, like he always wanted, so that she can take the trips they promised to take and still feel him with her. She doesn't know I've purchased it for her. Pop bought her jewelry every single birthday, anniversary, and Christmas, always beautiful pieces. I want to give her one last piece, a piece of him, to help her remember that he would want her to continue to live her life as the young person he saw in her every day. Oh, that's so sweet. This is the one I made for her. So it's got her husband's ashes in there. It turned out so pretty. But all three of us need these pieces for one common reason: to remind us that we were so lucky to know him, to love him, and to be loved by him. We will always feel his loss every day, but each piece of jewelry is a chance for someone to ask us about it, and for us to get the chance to talk to him and keep him alive in our memories and in the memories of others. And in the end, that's all we are, and he will never be forgotten. I know this was long. I think it was more therapeutic for me than anything, but I hope you'll be thinking of the special kind of love that we shared with him as you make our individual pieces. I know you'll create the perfect memorial piece for us. Thank you for reading this, and I hope knowing about him made you smile, because it's the best way I can ensure his memory lives on. Kayla. Thank you, Kayla, for that beautiful letter. That was so sweet. And I feel like I I put a lot of love into these, and they turned out really nice. I'll just show everyone again. Oh, I'm shaking. I've like, oh my goodness, that just got me all shaky and cry. And that one there. My husband and I were just crying for like on and off for the rest of the day after reading that. So I'll share some of the photos that she sent. I think this would have been just last September. So he's like such a young 75-year-old. And there he is with his wife. That's just so sweet. So I just wanted to come on here to share that letter with you. I thought it was so sweet. And I'm sending these pictures back to her. And all of her pieces will be on their way very soon. And I'm looking forward to her receiving them. So, hey guys. Thanks for hopping on here. I hope you guys are having a nice long weekend. And I know, right? The one of them dancing, I like literally, like look at, he's so cute. Anyways, thanks for hopping on here, guys, and I'll read through all the comments because I didn't see them because I was looking at the letter, but thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a nice weekend and get to enjoy the sunshine. Bye, guys.